I went to Amsterdam and I treated myself to a new deck. I went to the American Book Center in Amsterdam and I got myself this little thing right here. They always used to have tarot and oracle decks over there, but they never really used to have the biggest selection ever. And for some reason, last time I was there was, I think, before lockdown, so 2 years ago. That changed. They had updated their selection. Still not the biggest. However, some really cool stuff I'd never seen before was there, including this one, the Rainbow Warrior Activation deck. And of course, the cover art immediately triggered me. But when I saw that this was done by Justin Cerebrin, who also has done the Sacred Sea Oracle with Rockpool. Do I have that handy right now? I think I may, actually. Let me get it really quickly. Yeah, so she's also done this deck for Rockpool. And I really dig her art. She's very much an intuitive, very abstract artist. You can see that in the Sacred Sea Oracle, which I've never really done a review for. Don't know if I'm gonna. This is kind of the stuff she does, but the Sacred Sea Oracle is very much it has very clear imagery. It's still very intuitive, but you can very clearly see things in here, right? So it's not necessarily, well, I mean, it's still intuitive art, but it's art of things that you can very clearly make out. So I loved this, and I think I may have seen on her Instagram or website that she had done another deck, but I never really went like, ooh, I need to get that now. And now it just happened to come on my path, and I absolutely adore it. It's really cool. So what I like about this deck is that it kind of coincides with what Martin and I were talking about during our live session the other week, because I kind of posed this question: what does intuitive reading mean, and what do people mean when they say, hey, I read this deck intuitively? Now, the Rainbow Warrior Activation deck is interesting. It's a really cool deck. It starts with, you have all the answers, and I'm not going to read all the pages of the guidebook aloud because that's very boring, but it is a very cool guidebook, and then you get like a full color illustration for all the cards, and then you get a little explanation, some keywords. Really, like, even though it's a short guidebook, the writing is really very much up my alley. So, you know, we kind of get that. But then when we look at the cards are all just numbered. They're just numbered. So none of the, so this is number 27. Let's see if I can find that really quickly, because it's all numbered. I can. So this is number 27. Here it says Heart Chakra. Would I have known that without looking at it? Well, you know, funnily enough, yes, because this is one of the cards that I just gotten in my reading, and I was like getting those vibes. So even though the art is very abstract, it does really channel that meaning. And what I like about the way this guidebook is written is, you have all the answers, trust yourself. What she basically says is, there is a guidebook, you can, let me read that a little bit. The organization of the deck is deliberate. Each card uses only a number for identification. This allows you to receive and mirror back your own spiritual images and understanding as they're inspired by your unique perception of the art. So that's kind of, I already thought it was going to be like this, and I don't have many decks like this because, like I said before, I'm more so triggered by knowledge rather than intuition. So I have this deck that does this. I have the Inscription Oracle by Ninka Van Zwol, which I don't have handy right now. It's somewhere in the little baskets to my side, but I'm not going to look them up. And I have Divine Guidance by Cheryl Lee Harnish. So, you know, this is very much a this is kind of a soul cards affair, but then more abstract, because the soul cards will also sometimes have people in them or shapes of people in them, and there is no people inside. And this is very much meant, she also says, you know, use this deck to train your intuition, use your own meanings, and then if you want to or feel called to for a certain card in a spread maybe, or if you want to kind of read more about the intention that we had behind the art, feel free to reference the guidebook, but never ever does she state anywhere that she, you know, kind of wants you to use the guidebook. So I really like that, and I just want to look at these cards together with y'all, because I haven't really, you know, sometimes you get these decks and you look at them, but you don't really look at them. And I love the watercoloriness of this. And I don't know if this is something that I will use in practice with clients or friends or family or like actual other people, or if I'm gonna just start doing this for me first, because, you know, like I said, I never really trained my intuition. I sometimes get intuitive hits when I'm doing tarot readings, but usually I just interpret the cards, and, you know, there's nothing wrong with either one of those. But for me, when I get an intuitive hit, and I can't explain how or why, but to me that is very clearly something that is a message that is coming from the outside that is entering my body, not something that's either coming from my gut or from my heart or from my mind. No, it's very clearly something else protruding into your reading and saying, hey, I've got something to say. And that doesn't happen that often. I'm not trying to make myself look special here, but, you know, that's what sometimes happens. And I kind of want to train it more, so I kind of want to start maybe by using a deck like this. And I think the art is absolutely stunning. So I'm not going to be explaining everything that I see in this, but, you know, like some little parts of this art may like trigger you. For example, for me, it is very much this, maybe I am gonna do this with every image. I mean, it's my fucking channel. I can do what I want. For me, it's this controller pad almost, where we kind of have energy going up, going left, going right, going down. But it almost looks kind of chaotic and a little bit disrupted. So that's how I would see that. Ooh, like there's something so raw and shamanic about Justine's art. I love it. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Like, well, I'm getting a lot of triggers, and I don't know if I want to spew them all out, but very much getting that another one where I feel like the energy is very chaotic, but yet good. It feels good, but you are the glue that kind of keeps it all together, and that can be a bit straining sometimes. Some stuff like that, you know, just pops up into my mind. The backs, by the way, they're cute. They're the box cover art. I just wish it would have been, where's my box? I just wish they would have used this full art as a back. But maybe that's just me. But it's cute though. We'll get into cardstock and such later. First, I want to look at the actual content that is here. Ooh, this is very much, I'm getting fire energy here. We're ascending the ladder, you know, like, ooh, creativity, lust, you know, we're moving on up, and exciting. So I'm very much getting, I'm getting very much like, almost like energy vibes from this deck. Very much an energy thermometer almost. Really cool. Really, and if I'm not really called to like say anything about a certain image, I'm not going to, but oof, I love this. So we are kind of, I am now seeing a face here. Eyes closed, little voice in the back of your head telling you almost like maybe negative things. I don't know. That's what I'm getting. It's an intuitive deck. I can say whatever the hell I want. 42. Ooh. Almost like an explosion, like fireworks going off, or like almost like a rocket crashing down. Interesting. Number 8. Wow. Like, I really love this watercolor imagery. This is like a magical world that I want to delve into. I think it looks really good. 31. Ooh, we're getting that DNA Kundalini spiral. Everything is within you. So, you know, like I said, intuition. Is it intuition? Is it pre-existing knowledge? Is it your subconscious telling you stuff? Or is it actually guides from the outside telling you stuff? For me, it will probably always be a mix of all of those. For me, it is kind of, as a reader, I find it to be kind of my job to also tell the querent where I'm getting information from. So for me right now, this is very much subconscious knowledge that I have, or even conscious knowledge. Ooh, yikes. This looks interesting. Almost looks like you're being cut off. I'm very much getting vocal cords here, almost being cut off. Like, so I feel like this is very modern, at least my interpretations. Very grounded in reality, very of the now. This is interesting. We get this huge, gorgeous grid. Very geometrical. Something's going on underneath the surface, and we may be focusing on this. Our eyes are being diverted to this. But underneath the surface, there's a lot going on, and it's all being orchestrated by someone. That's really interesting. And now that I'm looking at it through the camera, I'm seeing even more stuff. So there's so much to see here, and I really like it. But, you know, for me, the thing with decks like these, unless you've used them for a long time, or when they're very, you know, very concrete, not abstract, have very recognizable shapes and figures in them, like, for example, the Soul cards, or the White Fox Oracle that I've shown on here before. I would probably not use this for clients all the time as a reader myself, because I feel like it takes too long for me to, like, I really want to delve into this and, you know, like, drown into this world almost. How I could see myself using this is actually asking the querent, hey, what does this signify to you? So that's interesting. That's an interesting use for this deck. Ah, all those greens and blues. Very often kind of getting that central feeling, like you're in the middle. Things are either coming your way or going away. And I'm all about colors. I'm not a chakra expert, but, you know, since I made a whole tarot deck about the chakras, I like to think I know something about it. You know, when we're looking at this, it's very much throat and heart. Throat and heart. Truth and emotions don't always mix. And we literally see that here. We see throat energy almost kind of attacking that heart energy. So you know, like, once again, knowledge and, you know, color knowledge, and so many great things you can do with this. 47. Once again, we kind of see that DNA spiral, but we see it very much in blue. So the true the essence of your personal truth. Speak it out. Say it. Own it. Oh, man. Like, and okay, so I'm not gonna do this for every card. I'm not Kelly from the Truth and Story. I can't pull that off to like film 3-hour YouTube videos and have everyone be at the tip of my tongue. But you know, this is some striking art. This is not, there was a lot of thought and intention put into this, and I actually just saw in the guidebook that this is supposed to signify air. Really interesting. So I already know that now, but I think I'm gonna leave the guidebook as is for a while and just work with this. I kind of dislike that word. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use this deck a couple times to see how it feels for me. Here I'm getting total water vibes. I'm seeing a face right here, almost like this is a water snake almost, kind of flowing in. We're seeing waves, we're seeing lots of watery action, lots of intuitive action, lots of emotional action. So I could read this card as act on your intuition. Don't just, and I've been getting that in my own tarot readings a lot lately. My tarot cards constantly giving me cards like the High Priestess, Queen of Cups, King of Cups, you know, cups, emotions, the moon, you know, but, you know, sometimes, you know, High Priestess, trust your intuition. No, act on your intuition. I love this one. This is very much giving me a Two of Pentacles vibe, where I almost feel like where, you know, a lot of people see Two of Pentacles like balance, but we also see that eternal push and pull, but also that lovely natural harmony going on here. Almost like, you know, grounded control. So, you know, I would love to kind of like devise my own meanings for this. It looks really interesting. And, you know, because this is there's a lot of chakra stuff in here, and I haven't even read through all the different meanings of the cards. But, you know, even as a intuitive chakra deck, where it's not so much, you know, a fully read card for the root chakra, but here we have root, solar plexus, heart, kind of, you know, that heart energy almost piercing through it. So that will be piercing down to maybe force you to feel this from your toes all the way up to your heart, and not just from your heart. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, man. Seriously, talking about decks like this is why I love YouTube. Wow. I'm getting major womb ovary sensations from this. Let's see. I kind of want to see what they have written about this. Forgiveness. Okay. You know, well, and then we get some keywords, and then we get neutrality, 0-point release, completion, mercy, grace, gratitude. So I'm kind of getting a motherly, matronly energy from this. But this is why sometimes I wish that creators would, if creators create a deck where they say, but you're always going to get people that are going to nag you about a guidebook. If you're going to create a deck where you want the people to use it purely, well, not purely intuitively, but mostly intuitively, you know, what I'd like to see rather than meanings for cards is maybe, because you do want to add a little book to your card set. I do get that. And then, you know, those 14 pages at the beginning of the guide aren't gonna cut it, but maybe give us stuff on, you know, give some theory on how to read colors, color combinations, give us theory about how to read certain shapes or symbols, you know. But that's just me. I know that the creator of the Innerscription Oracle never intended to be a guidebook, But then, you know, people started nagging, and she just started posting her oracle card picks up on Instagram saying, you know, well, you give me meanings then, and I'll put them in the guidebook. I thought that was really cool, you know? But, you know, then reading the guidebook is kind of almost... So if I start using this deck, I should probably hide this guidebook away, because I'm going to want to... My rational mind is going to want to have to pick it up. Oh... little baby frog eggs. Ooh. Ooh. Damn, that's some intense stuff. Wow. I wonder what's going to happen when that there opens. Doesn't look too good. Oh, man. Oh, wow. This is really pretty. So, you know, wow. I'm totally seeing like a priestess or priest or something like that in here. Interesting. Almost like Mother Mary-esque energy from this card. I don't know why, but I love it. Ooh, and another one like that. I really love intuitive watercolor art. I really love Justine Cerebrin's art. She's really good. You know, since there's 52 cards, I just can't keep doing this for all the cards, but this lovely like tree, but the tree's a little bit barren, like it looks a little dead, but you know, it looks like replenishment is on the way, so you know, that looks good. Ooh, we get the Star of David right here. That's an interesting one. Yeah, this is definitely one where I was like, ooh, this is totally crown star chakra shit, like, has to be, and I believe it was when I did look it up in the guidebook. Yeah, crown chakra. Interesting. Ooh, 3 feathers, 3 of swords. But once again, we kind of get solar plexus, root, and heart surrounded by throat. There's interesting combos to be made here, y'all. I like that. Ooh, wow. This is major sun energy, fire energy, positivity, intensity, like that. Like, I would even like to just, you know, like, prop these cards up on, you know, my reading table to just look at them, stare at them. Look at this gorgeous nature scene. I adore it. Another one like that. It's almost like a little portal. Almost like a little tiny portal to another elemental realm where it's almost always nice and sunny. Crystals, yes. Oh man, really, really cool. So yeah, I'm just gonna be flicking through these, but you know, the amount of energy that is coming from these cards, the weird abstract shapes, like, to me, this is total root chakra, but there's also a little bit of darkness in there. Like, I would just wanna wing this, and third eye, totally want to wing this and just use it as is. Look at this, like, this is sort of like almost like a pyramid, like a temple, like a gate into a pyramid where you have to walk through in order for you to get that initiation, when you're being initiated into something new. Like, so much to see here. And you know, the moment I feel like moments when I let that all go, all those inhibitions surrounding my knowledge and shit, I start seeing the most amazing things in the cards, and that's also where the magic is. So as much as I give people shit about reading intuitively, I do happen to like doing cute intuition exercises like this. Is it weird that I'm getting kind of a divine masculine feeling from this? Where, you know, like, all these little spermials are looking to fulfill their purpose. Also, like, a lot of these more like harsh shapes that we're seeing sometimes, totally getting like extraterrestrial vibes from them. Like, long lost civilization, sort of like Atlantis aircraft coming to get you. But then this is like super primal, like almost like, hey, look at your ancestors, look at the past. It's time for you to like confront things from the past. So much to see here is so good. Oh wow, this is another portal. A portal. Oh man, you could just literally stare at this for ages and just fantasize about what will happen when you step through. You know? I mean, it looks peaceful. It looks green. Ooh. Oh wow. You know how what I love about this? I'm getting experience through the years here. This is almost like a tree that's being cut in half. You can count the earrings. Love that. Oh, I gotta stack my cards right. Oh, cute. I really love this art. I love it. Like, there's so much that your eye can get drawn to. There are all these gorgeous dreamscapes. Like, wow. Oh man. This almost looks like those little frog eggs, tadpole eggs from earlier. Almost like they're kind of developing. Ooh, this is cool. This kind of look, maybe this is third eye. I don't know, but it's definitely something about, you know, definitely something about you seeing what's not there yet. Visionary, yes. There you go. I just checked the guidebook for a quick reference, but you know, that makes total sense. This almost looks like another portal. Also looks like a peacock feather. There's so much you can see in here. Like, I mean, I know I said this like 20,000 times. Darkness, oh yes. Balance, duality, transition, teacher, transformation, void, density, unconscious. Really, really cool. Really good. Ooh, This almost looks like an implosion, or like a negative, dark energies kind of corrupting your creative processes. Really interesting. Like I said, I could talk about these. Oh, I could talk about these for hours. This is probably one of the prettiest decks I own. So let's talk about, you know, we've seen all the cards. We've seen that there's great content to be had. Like I said about the guidebook, I get why this is done because, you know, most people aren't professional card readers. Just read for themselves or for their friends every now and then, and will want to reference a guidebook because they don't want to work with their intuition per se, even though this deck was meant to be used purely intuitively, and it does work really well like that, like I just showed you, even though I didn't do all 52 of the cards. However, the quality of the set is good. It's kind of on that US Games card stock, if you get what I'm saying. The box is fine. It doesn't have thumb tabs on it. So opening it can be a little bit of a hassle, but I always feel like people over exaggerate how difficult it is. The cardstock is a little bit rough though, and that has everything to do with the way it was cut. You can kind of see all these rough edges right here. It's very roughly cut. It wasn't cut that well. But then again, it wasn't that expensive either, and I do believe that this is a really special little set, and it's going to go really well with all my other intuitive training decks. So, you know, that's kind of how I see this. It's almost like intuitive training for myself or for the customer or client, you know? So that was the Rainbow Warrior Activation Deck by Tracy Dunblazier and Justin Cerebrin, my girl, because I love her art. And this has been Levi from Masculine Intuition Readings. Bye-bye.